the Scream Queens Horror Movie Road Trip Podcast. What are you afraid of? What's going on?
I'm just mainly afraid of how I feel right now.
Oh. That's your final girl over there, Miss Justine.
Expressing my feelings.
Expressing her feelings. I hate feelings. And I'm your soul survivor, Mr. Josh.
Oh, Mr. Josh, that was something right out the gate. And I hate feelings.
Well, we are heading down. This is episode 34, by the way. Hello, welcome to our monthly road trip horror movie podcast.
Yeah, where we're literally doing a road trip.
Yep, we are heading down to Springer, Oklahoma right now. We're going to visit Magnetic Hill.
Yep, we're in the good old Oklahoma. O-K-L-A-H-O-M-A. Oklahoma.
Okay, we're okay. Oklahoma's
We're doing
okay. We're okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, Magnetic Hill.
Yeah, Magnetic Hill's here in Oklahoma.
We're going to go there.
The hills are alive.
The big question is it illusion or is it paranormal? See, it's one of those kind of cliche paranormal events. I've seen it on countless shows. So I know there's a variation in every state. But the one here is Magnetic Hill. But it's one of those scenarios where you pull over, put your car in neutral. It looks like you're at the bottom of the hill, but your car gets pulled up a hill. Well, in this case, in Springer, Oklahoma, you go down a hill, put your car in reverse, or not in reverse, excuse me, neutral, and you get pulled backwards up the hill.
Yeah, it's an optical illusion, bitches.
Yes, according to scientists, it's an optical illusion, but there's lots of legends and lore about it, apparently there's a plane crash right there in that area.
Mm-hmm, planes be dropping.
Planes be dropping.
Right on the spot.
Yes. And they're saying now it's the ghosts of the dead pulling the cars away from their final resting spot. Because how rude. How dare you drive over them?
Yeah, it's like, why'd y'all put a road on our resting spot?
It's like, back off. Come on.
This is our final resting place.
Talk about disrespect.
So, you know where we're going, but do you know why we're going there? Do you know what movie we're talking about?
We wanted to talk with you about Lord of Illusion.
We wanted to talk to you about Lord of Illusion.
Clive Barker's Lord of Illusions.
It's the Lord of Illusion by Clive Barker.
So we had to find some kind of practical illusion.
Yeah.
We did our research and we found out about
We're not
Magnetic Hill.
actual magicians, and so we can't perform.
But as they say countless times in the movie, illusions are a prison. Magic sets you free.
Oh shit, you dropping like script verse. Yes.
That's quote by Clive Barker, Lord of Illusions.
Quote
yeah,
marks.
we got to see Clive Barker a few months ago
We did.
at Texas Frightmare, and that was a treat of a lifetime. Let me tell you
Oh my
about
gosh, it was in a cookie jar, and we just nibbled on it. It was such a treat.
If you want to hear about it, go back to that episode. I don't know the number off the top of my head. Shit, it's a Frightmare episode. Find it.
We didn't look it up beforehand because we have problems, guys.
You know, this show's unedited. We don't. We do our research beforehand, and then we just
whatever
we talk
comes out
to you.
just comes out.
Yeah, it's kind of like, you know, sometimes we have a shart of the mouth. You know, you think it's gonna be a friendly fart, and just shit comes out.
And then just shit
okay?
comes out.
It's how it happens.
Yeah, that was really well put.
Thanks.
Okay, but we're talking about Lord of Illusion.
Yeah, let's get started. Lord of Illusions, you know, it's not. I guess I can't speak for everybody, but I don't think it's anybody's favorite Clive Barker movie, but I really, really enjoy watching it.
It's a goodie for sure. It's
just
got a lot of good people
Yes.
in it.
lots of wonderful actors.
Lots of yummy.
We got Daddy
Wonderful.
Scott Bakula.
Scott motherfucking Bakula.
We have
Famke
Miss
Jensen.
Femme Fatale Famke. Femme Fatale Famke. Say that three times fast. Femme Fatale.
Femme Fatale.
Femme Fatale Famke. Femme Fatale Famke. Femme Fatale Famke. Famke.
We got Kevin J. O'Connor.
You might remember him
From The Mummy.
The Mummy, yes.
Yeah.
He was also And another picture.
Still Magnolias?
No, he's actually been in a few like Paul Thomas Anderson movies, like The Master and I know there's There Will Be Blood. He's in.
Yeah, and he was in Van Helsing.
Van Helsing.
Yeah,
he's been
He's
around.
had some time.
He's
with
in
some
Still
Jack-
Magnolias. He played Daryl Hannah's husband in Still Magnolias. So if you like
Scott Bakula
movies that make you cry, you might remember him.
Kevin J. O'Connor and Scott Bakula were also in another movie together called Color of Night.
So are you saying they're lovers?
I'm saying they fucked several times before, and I have it on good opinion
that they loved it.
that they both enjoyed it, and it was wonderful. Okay, back to the movie.
Secret romance.
Yeah, so we've got magicians, we've got fanatic cults,
And it starts with that.
hot cops. We've got some bad 90s fashions going on.
It's kind of everything you want in a movie. Yeah, poor Famke Jensen. They put her in some hideous clothes in this movie. But the thing is, it's probably height of fashion.
For the moment, it was like
people probably thought she looked fucking good.
Yeah, and now you look at it and you're like,
I mean, you can't make Famke Jensen look bad, but some of the outfits are kind of funny. They're just funny.
Buttons on the sleeves.
Oh, that's the best. We'll get to that later.
Yeah. Okay. And who doesn't look hotter than 1995 Scott Bakula?
Yeah, you're kind of right. You have like
he's
hottest male ever alive award.
Yeah.
Scott Bakula might win it if it's circa 1995.
Was he ever like people's like hottest man alive? Because he should have been.
But you could say the same about Famke. It's like they have two of the hottest people at the same time
hot,
in the
sweaty
same
sweat.
movie. If you want to get a hard on, just watch this movie.
Watch this movie.
Okay? However,
Watch to about halfway in. Movie. Okay. So let's go ahead. We're gonna open this. We're gonna open it up. Okay.
We open up in one of my least favorite places, a desert.
Right.
It's hot. It's gross. It makes my skin dry.
It's like really brutal.
But yeah, we open up in the desert. I'm sure it's like the deserts of California.
Yeah, it says the Mojave
It does.
Desert.
Yeah, you're right. It does. It says the Mojave.
It's like some
1983 or something. It says right.
Yeah, it's not. It's not for them present day, which would be 1995. It's like 13 years before that. So 80s babies, right?
80s babies.
Maybe. It's like some abandoned like chicken farm. Like
whatever it is, it's like
it's dilapidated.
Yeah, and it's
run
gross.
It's
I know
nasty.
that. I know it would make me throw up.
It's like
if I was
sandy floors. It's dirty, nasty.
It's like,
not
I don't mind a sandy bottom, but a sandy floor.
A sandy bottom on a bitch.
What? No.
A beach.
On a beach. On the benches.
On the benches. Okay, so we've got just a gross, nasty.
Yeah, it's
place.
true. It's like they're setting up this compound through the opening credits. You're getting like dead, rotting chickens. We're seeing like broken down farm equipment. And
it looks
desert.
very like.
Looks very
Hills
abandoned.
Have Eyes.
Yeah, it's very abandoned and desolate.
Yeah.
If you will.
Pieces of animals. Just pieces.
Yeah, pieces.
And then we could hear at first before we actually. Oh, and we have Butterfield. We get an introduction to Butterfield, who's played by two different characters.
Yeah, it's funny that because to me he didn't look that much younger.
No, he didn't.
Beginning.
No, 13 years doesn't have.
Yeah, and honestly, until I saw the credits where you see younger Butterfield, I didn't even realize it was two different actors.
Yeah, it's definitely two different actors, and Clive Barker likes to just show a little bit. No, I'm not even gonna say a little bit. Show a lot of moose knuckle.
Yeah, he's wearing those like short shorts where you're
all
like,
through this.
You're like, don't move your leg to the left, or your one ball at least is gonna fall out.
Like.
Maybe not both, but...
Not a hint of ball, but like full on like move to the left, boom, ball out.
Yeah.
Just
it's
hairy ball.
Happen.
Okay, so anyways, we see Butterfield and he is sitting outside the complex.
And he's watching these people coming, right?
Yeah, he sees this like truck coming full speed towards it's like a big ass shed with rooms and
Yeah,
It's
it's
just
just like a weird
nasty.
compound. It's like, that's the only
Yes.
way to describe it. Just like a run down.
You can hear
shack.
inside some man pontificating at first, and then we see this like character who's tossing
Because
fire
Butterfield runs
back
in
yeah.
to alert him. He
Mhm.
knows something's up. And you get the sense like, okay, well, these cars, I guess they shouldn't be coming.
Yeah, he's like keeping watch, and so he runs in, and we have this character who is magically throwing fire.
Yeah, he's juggling fire.
And
He's acting like a prophet or like a cult leader. He's
Yeah.
up there just saying nonsense,
Yeah.
about the end times and
very doomsday-ish, and follow me. You can look down, you can see these like cult members.
he's preaching. He sounds like any preacher on
Yeah.
Sunday morning.
Like I said, he's
but he's
pontificating.
juggling fire.
Yeah. So you look and you're like, dang, actually he's magical. So he's definitely doing something. He's doing some illusion maybe, or he is actually throwing this fire up and down.
And we're getting a lot of like kind of back and forth parallel editing. We're starting to see who's in this truck coming as it's going on. And it has these 4 people. I think there's 2 men, 2 women. And they're talking about how like we got to get Nix. He's up to no good. He's got the girl.
Yeah, there's
He's
a girl.
kidnapped a girl. He's gone too far. They're talking about Nix has gone too far. He's now kidnapping children.
And we then are introduced to this child who's crying in a corner. She's all roped up and ain't going nowhere.
Screaming. That's all she can
Screaming.
do. She's,
Because she is being attacked, kind of played with in a mean way by a baboon.
Yeah, this movie's got baboons.
For like
Yeah, Nix is
5
like,
minutes of the movie.
get the baboon, and he tortures her with this baboon, and it's clawing at her, scratching her, and she's just freaking out. The baboon's
It's playing
freaking
cat
out.
and mouse almost, where they're just like,
Yeah.
it's scary. I would be frightened as fuck.
He's
if
like,
there's
oh,
a
you know what I
baboon.
can do? I'm so powerful, I can have a baboon, and I'll let it scratch you.
Yes, and there's Nick's just kind of like laughing as this baboon.
So you want to get scratched by my
Scratching.
baboon, motherfucker?
Bitch, do you want to get scratched? Baboon scratched? I don't think you do.
You don't want no baboon scratch.
Getting baboon scratched. And so yeah, we have this crying girl in a corner, and we can surmise that she's going to be a sacrifice. Something. So there's like something going on. There's a sacrifice that's
going
maybe
to be
gonna
made.
happen,
Yeah.
and we've got people on the way.
And you start to realize, okay, they're good guys that are coming,
Yeah.
obviously. Because they're trying to rescue this child being tortured by a baboon.
And they arrive, and there's a full-on battle that kind of is being had. And then there's some shooting up going on.
Yeah, it gets really crazy. Like, they kind of split up in this bunker, and one of the girls is lurking around the corner, and Butterfield finds her, like, slices her arm, like, her
Butterfield
hand
does
open.
a lot of slicing.
Yeah, he loves a straight edge razor, or what do they call it? Like an X-Acto knife.
And like a scalpel,
Yeah,
almost.
it's
But that's maybe
really
his
sharp
weapon
is
of
the point.
choice.
It's little and sharp and does a lot of damage. But he scrapes up, what's her name? Jennifer? You do find out more about her later.
Yeah.
One of the rescuers, we'll call her, Jennifer.
Yes. Yeah, because we don't know her name yet. So we have a rescuer who's getting butchered up.
People are fighting, shooting.
And now we have in the car, we have this other character, Swan.
Yes.
And so he's kind of like the leader of the rescuers that are coming.
You come to understand that Swan is leading them because they're all referring to him. Like, Swan, we need to do this. Swan, what do you think about that? Swan.
So Swan meets up with Nix. Nix is that, like, prophet guy.
And we learned that Swan was a protege of Nix. He was kind of like his apprentice.
Learning the ropes of magic. Real magic.
And Nix is like, I knew you'd be back. You've come back to learn more from me,
Yeah,
like,
and to get fingers from me.
Oh, yeah, talk about finger bangs.
Yeah, there's, guys, I just want you to know, there's multiple fingerings that happen in this movie, so don't be worried. Don't be worried that you're going to get cheated.
So Nix comes up to Swan and puts his hands on his head.
And then puts him
And then his fingers go into his head. And I'm not talking like bloody, but the special effect is done really well. That it does. has an organic quality. It doesn't look like complete
It looks
CGI.
like they kind of sink in.
They sink in. You're like,
Mhm,
oh,
like
and the sound
quicksand
effect that
in your
goes
head.
with it.
Yeah.
It's gross.
And you don't really realize what he's doing at first because he's just talking
You
to
think
him.
he's killing him at
Yeah.
first. Like, oh, there he goes. He just got his brain touched.
But he says something about, now you're going to see something like this world differently. Takes his fingers out of him. And now whenever Swan is looking around and the other rescuers are approaching him, they're doing this weird, like, illusion effect where they are melting and expanding, and then
they're like skins ripping
decomposing.
apart. Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah,
Actually.
and it's 95, so
It's
these
very
are early special effects, but they, for the most part, look really good.
There's some really good special effects. There's a few really bad CGI moments, but there's some good work in there.
Yeah, you can just definitely tell that this is, early stages. Okay, so that has happened. He got fingered in the head.
He got finger bang bang.
And we're thinking, okay, well, what's going to happen? But remember, there's been this shootout, so there's guns that are readily available, and there's this little girl that's been crying in a corner. Well, she comes upon a gun, and she shoots Nix in the back.
In a really tense moment when you think everyone else is about to die.
Yeah, because
she shoots him in the back. It leaves this huge hole in his chest.
Yeah, I'm guessing it was a shotgun. A shotgun of shots.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, because we're like, okay, Swan's gotten fingered, so he's not seeing things correctly. The other rescuers have been apprehended.
One
and
has
now,
a hurt, cut up hand, and
Yeah.
she tries to do something again later, but gets thrown off, and she's like, my hand!
I'm still bleeding over here. And so everybody is, like, apprehended at this point. So you think all hope is lost. You're like, where's this movie going?
They're dead.
And the kid shoots.
That baboon's really gonna mess up that girl.
Is that baboon just going to eat for days in there with all of those people? And so the tables have turned. And Nix gets shot, and then there's, another little rustle around,
Yeah, they
and
came
then they
prepared.
get shot up some more.
They bring this really awesome, like, wrought iron mask.
Yes, this is what the Man in the Iron Mask should have been.
Yeah. And this element of the movie, just this one prop alone, really is very Clive Barker.
Yes.
I get almost the most Clive Barker vibes in this movie.
Yeah. It's a little
from
BDSM.
that, because this movie is very different for Clive Barker from, some of the things we've seen. It's the character that we're about to be introduced in a little while is known, and there's a lot about. But I feel like the noir vibe that's coming up is different for.
Yeah, that's
Clive.
what he wanted to. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Clive Barker wanted was to get this film noir aspect.
So they put this wrought iron mask on his face, and they drip blood on to like get it sealed, and I guess that's supposed to prevent him from doing any more magic.
Yeah, it's apparently some kind of encasement. It's his, maybe entrapping his mind, his abilities that rest in his mind.
You gotta get that wrought iron if you want to
Gotta
keep
get that.
magic at bay.
Yeah. Guys, I don't know if you know about that, but wrought iron will stop magic. It's a proven scientific fact. You can look it up on the internet.
The more you know.
The more you know.
The more you know.
So the good guys seem to win. They bury him in the desert, deep, deep, deep down in the desert.
And they're like, all right.
And so
We did it.
we've saved the day. The little girl is safe. We're safe. This Jennifer Desdodero or whatever is going to get her hand fixed.
We get this hilarious shot of Butterfield, who had like ran off.
Yes.
And he's watching from a distance everything go down, like the place starting to burn, and he gets mad about it. He screams in slow motion.
Yeah,
guys.
He screams in slow mo. It's like
someone's really angry when they scream in slow mo.
Yes. Here's my thing. Where did all the other cult members go?
They, I think, stayed there. Well, remember, we're going by the theatrical cut.
Yes.
We're talking the theatrical cut, too.
Yes.
In the uncut version, remember, you see them going off and leading, like, weird normal lives for a while, and then later in the director's cut, they like kill their families.
Yeah,
and come
that's
back.
all cool.
Yeah.
But it's just funny how, like,
You
in
don't
the
know,
theatrical
yeah.
version, all of a sudden, all the other cult members just seem to kind of disappear. Because they're not all dead. Remember, we just told
Yeah.
you that for the most part, we thought that this was going to go down the opposite way. So where the hell did they
Where
all
did
go?
they go? Yeah. Wait, if you've seen the director's cut, then you know. But
Yes.
if not, it's like, what the fuck?
It's like,
and
why
honestly,
did they choose to eliminate that?
more people have seen the theatrical cut. So
Yeah.
there's probably a lot of people out there
That
that
are like,
don't know.
huh.
And just to clarify, that's what we're talking about right now, really, is the theatrical cut.
Yeah.
We've seen the director's cut, but we've seen the theatrical cut more, you know.
Yes, yeah.
It wasn't until recently that Scream Factory put out a really
One
great
that
special
encompasses both,
edition.
yeah. It's really good. It has commentary from Clive Barker. So
on
definitely
on
recommend
the
it.
director's cut.
Yes. I definitely recommend it.
Get it.
But anyway, so we don't actually know where those cult people have gone, but they have seemed to disappear. Butterfield has ran off to slow-mo cry. And
we flashed 13 years later.
Yeah, and it's 13 years later, and it's no longer in the desert. We're in New York City.
We're in New York City. And I like how Clive Barker doesn't do this, you know, a cliched establishing shot of New York City with like the Statue of Liberty or the Twin Towers at the time or Empire State Building.
Like,
it's this hilarious like old downtown rundown street with like a fake little silhouette of the Statue of Liberty. So it really sets the scene of like, okay, we're in New York, but we're not maybe in...
Yeah, we're not in touristy New York,
yeah.
because you also, there's sirens you're hearing, so it's just supposed to, you know, kind of like the griminess of New York.
One of his
Because he's
work,
also going for noir.
we end up meeting a man that lives in New York City named
Harry
D'Amour.
Harry D'Amour. Can I say I wrote this down because, you know, I'm so excited every time I get to see Scott Bakula. So 14 minutes and 3 seconds into the movie is when we first see Scott Bakula / New York private investigator Harry D'Amour. He's so handsome, guys. He's for everyone.
He's everyone
He is
handsome.
For everyone.
He's everyone handsome,
He's
okay?
everyone handsome, damn it. Yes, we have Harry D'Amour, and we see him sitting, contemplating something
He's
in
sad
his New
about
York
something.
apartment.
We get glimpses of newspapers that have his name on it saying like, Harry D'Amour, with, you know, got a demon out of a child.
Yeah, investigating into the occult. And we also get a little view into his mind, and we see what he's seeing. And it is this, like, exorcism moment with, like, a boy and a demon and everything. And we see that pop up a few times, so we know...
It's haunting him.
It's haunting him, and Clive Barker wrote kind of like a series of books, and he pops up in many of them. And this main book that the movie The Lord of Illusions is all about is The Last Illusion. And so this Harry D'Amour character...
If you're a fan of Clive Barker, then you're familiar with Harry D'Amour.
Yeah.
He's been around a while before this
But
movie
are you
came
familiar
out.
with Scott Bakula? Because that's the real fucking question.
That's what you really need to ask yourself.
Yeah. All right. But, so he's sitting there contemplating life and looking all hot, you know, and shit. And there's a knock on the door, and it's another guy
He's not a hot cop.
He's not a hot cop by any stretch of the means, but he's, you know, he's a nice-looking guy, I guess. And he's telling Harry, I got a new job for you.
He's like, you need to get out of town. You're depressed. You look bad, which we're like, no, he doesn't. And
Yeah, or if that's Scott Bakula at his worst, then I can't wait to see him at his best, which we will see like an hour in. Woohoo! Okay. So his not hot cop tells him, you're going to LA.
You're going to LA. I want you to follow around
the movements of this illegal something or other. You know, we don't know if it's drugs. We don't know if it's laundering money. We don't know.
There's just something
whatever.
going on.
He's got to go. All right. So there he is. We see him. He's in LA.
He's watching these people partying with their titties
some
out.
TNA and D go down in a hotel dance party.
Some T&D.
Some T&D. There's like two, I think that they would have to be like sex workers, prostitutes, in a hotel room with the man that Harry is following, the private investigating.
And that man who has
privates.
he has like a big pompadour and That's it. That's all. The only thing he's
Yeah.
wearing is a pompadour hairdo
And his
cowboy boots.
Cowboy boots, yeah. And he's got
He's butt ass naked.
he is butt ass naked, and he looks like he's having the time of his life. And then he realizes that he needs to get a palm reading.
He's like, oh shit, I gotta go.
Yeah. He leaves.
He
And
gets a phone call too, right?
and-
or something. He's like, I gotta go.
I think he sees the time, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, I've got to go!" Like they're all just naked and dancing around, and Harry is just like watching this little show, and then he's like, "Gotta go!" So he's got to follow him to the next location.
They go out to an area that looks like Venice Beach area of LA, and Harry watches the man go upstairs. He's gonna follow him, and then that man runs right back out, like in a panic.
Yeah. He runs back out of this little shop area, and we're gonna get this like whole bad case of like wrong place at the wrong time.
And it is up on the second floor. That's important to know.
Yes. And he instead of running after the guy that he's following,
he goes in.
He goes in. Maybe he
probably
has
wishes he
intuition,
did,
or maybe because we find out he's drawn to the occult. He's got drawn to the dark arts or whatever. So maybe he just feels pulled to go in. But he goes in, and
it's pretty disturbing, guys. There's a man. The palm reader is sitting there with tons of these little scalpels sticking out of his body, in his neck, in his shoulders, in his titties.
And mind you, while he's seeing this man, he's being attacked by another man.
That we find out is
rage-filled man.
Oh yes, it's the rage-filled man, not
and
Butterfield
he
man.
is like, he gets into the
he has, like,
fortune
filed
teller's
down
room.
Teeth.
Yeah,
He has, like, shark teeth.
And he starts biting him and like wrestling with him on the ground, and Harry ends up like knocking this guy out. Cold cocks him. And he goes into like the next, it's kind of a room in a room, and he can see better. I mean, he could see before. He saw that it was like a man who had been stabbed up a whole bunch, but he kind of got sidetracked.
He gets a closer look, more detailed look.
Crazy closer look. And this man, he is
awful.
dying. This man has been stabbed so many times with so many, it looks like scalpels.
Yeah, it kind of looks like scalpels.
And like very sharp knives that have been inserted in him in specific places, and he is bloodied up to the nines.
And he can't really talk much, but he lets out some exposition.
He lets out a little bit, but there's a man in a corner that we see, and
we find
out it's Butterfield.
It's older Butterfield, new actor now.
Yes, new actor, and
But they give off a similar vibe. I guess maybe because they both have that contact in of like the one.
Yeah, the one eye that's supposed to tell you that it's like the same character.
Mm-hmm.
He's dressed very like androgynously.
Yes, he's wearing like these tight leather pants.
Yeah, it would seem that he's wearing maybe more feminine clothing, very tight. But he has like no hair. I mean, he does have hair, but it's very like close to his
very Sinead O'Connor.
Yes, yeah, it is definitely a look. And he is telling this hairy guy like why almost he's here. Like, I just love to
kill people.
Yeah, like I love to kill people.
He's like,
and
I love watching their souls leave their body. It's like you can see that moment.
Oh, it's weird, and he's not letting him know who this man is that's there, the fortune teller. He's just like trying to almost freak Scott Bakula out. Like, I am a weirdo.
And in the middle of all this, Rage Boy wakes back up. Shark Boy.
Yes.
There's no Lava Girl in this one, but Shark Boy comes running after him. There's a brief little fight with Scott Bakula, but Scott Bakula gets him pushed out of that window.
Yeah, there's a big window, and he throws him out of it at the same time that Butterfield character is escaping.
Yeah, Butterfield's like, okay, this is a good time to run. He's like, bye!
And the rage-filled man is thrown from the window and plummets down to
what you think is his dad.
Yeah, he's just laying there. You hear things that have broken.
Yeah,
like,
we find out in a few minutes.
He's got glass shards all over him.
And you find out at the police station that or just a few minutes later, actually, the body's gone. He's like, there's no way he could have survived. They must have grabbed him. Someone got the body. But we find out, and even a few more minutes, right, that they're alive.
Yes, that they have just, like, went to another location. And you're like, wait, hold on. How did this guy
pulling,
survive this fall?
And Shark Boy is, like, pulling these long glass shards out of his belly.
And Scott Bakula, when the reveal of the rage guy is not at the bottom of the street. And it's just there's a lot of cop drama to this movie.
There's this one really awesome. I can't remember if she has more in the director's cut, but in the theatrical cut she only has like 2 scenes. She's the redheaded cop.
Yes.
She's really cool.
She's kind of like on the case.
She's like,
Scott
great.
Bakula
All you magicians, she's starting to realize there's a lot of like magicians at play.
Yeah. She meets the Scott Bakula character, Harry D'Amour, and he tells her why he's even here. And he's like, so it's wrong place, wrong time. I hope I never see you again. But Butterfield wants to know more about him. So we cut to that scene where we find out that they've just relocated to another kind of grimy place. That's the...
It's got to be dirty. No one can take pride if you're a villain and clean
the rage-filled
spruce
guy
it up a bit.
Is just taking shards of glass out of him.
It's so gross. And they're in these close-ups where it's just slowly pulling this glass out of his stomach.
And the Butterfield guy's like, I don't know about this Harry guy, but what I do know is he can't find out what we're doing.
Yeah.
And he also feels this weird pull to him. He's like, but we got to keep him at bay. He can't be bugging us.
Well, Harry ends up getting a phone call, right? Is this the night he gets the phone call from...
So we are now going to cut to like Los Angeles, posh, like Beverly Hills area. And Dorothea, we meet Famke Jensen.
Yes.
And she is looking at a newspaper, and
sees
tells
Harry's picture.
Her assistant and her husband's assistant. We find out that she has a husband. We don't know yet who he is, but
what's his name? Valiant.
Yeah, Valentine is the assistant. She's like, you need to go and find this Harry D'Amour guy because I want to know more about him. Because it's not that, like, so I know he was in New York, but, like, the sensationalism of that case was taken all the way to L.A. Like, Harry D'Amour has been heard of across the U.S., so, and now she knows that he's even here because the L.A. paper is, like, covering the incident that just happened the night before.
That he's involved in.
Yeah, so she's like, I gotta know about this guy because I want to look into him, and you're like, why? Well, we'll find out, because she's married to Swan.
Yeah, so...
who is
Valentine meets with him in the cemetery, right? That's where they first meet up. He's like, I want you to talk with this lady.
Yeah, I want you to come and meet her and everything in the cemetery. But hold on, because, like, we get to meet Swan. He's now a famous illusionist, and he's gonna go put on, like, a fancy, like,
But
show.
he does that after this, because remember, he comes to it after he's already talked to Dorothea and stuff.
Yeah, but I just wanted to, like, put down some foundation that Swan himself also wanted to meet Harry. Like, they both had, like, their own reasons for wanting to meet him.
Yeah.
Okay, but anyways, we're gonna go now to Valentine saying, like, hey, Dorothea wants
first
to...
we gotta discuss Famke's outfit in the cemetery.
Okay, yeah. Okay, well, yes.
I don't even know what's going on.
Famke's in the cemetery waiting to meet, and Valentine is telling Harry D'Amour, like, you gotta meet this girl.
She is in one fancy get-up. All of that.
She is in one fancy get-up. My
favorite is, like, the weird nylon hat.
It's beautiful.
It's so strange. I don't get it. But she still looks incredible.
Yes. She looks amazing. She's 100%.
You know, I saw Famke Jensen one time in Oklahoma City when I worked at a restaurant at 1492. She was there because she directed a movie in Oklahoma City.
You were so lucky to see her.
I was so lucky to see her. Yeah, she made some movies with, like, Mila Jovovich and stuff. Ned Beatty, I think, was in it too.
So you got to see her.
Anyways, love her.
Yes. Well, Famke tells Harry D'Amour that she would like for him to follow her husband and keep him safe because she thinks that his life is at risk. And
everyone feels something. It's all like you said, they're being pulled.
Yeah.
They know something's up. And
the character that was just stabbed multiple times, we find out that his name is Quaid, and that he was a part of that rescue team. And so Dorothea sees in the paper that it's that guy, and she's scared now because he's gone, and or he's been killed by somebody who they haven't found. So she's immediately worried. She's just worried that there might be somebody after her husband.
She's like, why don't you come to this magic show tonight?
Yeah, so why don't you come and see what he's all about, because he's amazing and wonderful.
There's no one like him.
And there's no one like him, but I'm married to him, but I don't love him.
Yes, she makes it very clear she does not love him. And you're like, what the fuck? What's your story, girl?
So we go to a black tie affair. We get to go to the Pantages.
Yeah, everyone's in tuxedos and gowns, looking fabulous, ready for a night of illusion.
It's Swan illusion.
This is also very Clive Barker. Like how everything looks. It's so like, oh yeah.
Yes. We get to
S&M kind of feel.
Yes. So the magic show opens with this dance number performed by
it's dramatic,
scantily clad both male and female dancers. There's ass and titties out, but nipples are
It's very
covered.
like Vegas showgirl in a way. And funny enough, Carrie-Ann Inaba, from what show does she?
She's on Dancing with the Stars, I think.
She's one of the dancers up there. I still
like
haven't been able to figure it out.
In the credits you can see that it's Carrie-Ann Inaba who's a dancer.
So
So there's all of this like ominous, maybe like
it's pretty
Latinous music.
hilarious. Like the music's funny. Right here, anyways.
Yeah.
It's very dramatic. Vegas. It's very Vegas. Even though we're in LA, we're at the Pantages.
Yeah.
It just feels
There's
very
some
Vegas.
very like magic show Vegas feel
very
about
David
it.
Copperfield.
Yes.
Very.
And we get this casket that's see-through, and it is coming down from like a top level.
It's almost like a sarcophagus.
A sarcophagus, yeah.
Yeah, it's very like Egyptian.
Yeah, you can see inside. It's all clear. It's made of glass, and there is a skeleton that's inside of it. And you're like, oh, okay, well, cool. And then it descends down, and we see Swan, and he's like floated up to like the rafters so people can't see him or whatever.
But even the stagehands backstage are like, I don't see the wires. Where are the wires? And the guy's like, there are no wires. He's like, what? Like it's actually magic?
What?
And you're like, yeah.
It
bitch.
is actually magic.
It is
He's
actually
a fucking magician,
magic.
bitch!
What do you think magicians do?
Ah, my gosh.
Shit.
Stagehands are the worst sometimes. But, okay, so up in the rafters, he's, like, floating. And then this sarcophagus fills up with sand.
Red sand.
There is this red sand tube that comes out. And that's going to come into play in just a little bit. This very sharp red sand tube that is maybe attached
pouring
to, like,
more sand into the thing.
It's
there's
a
tubes,
contraption.
there's sharpness, there's sand.
It's all very Egyptian-esque. It's crazy. It's Clive Barker for sure. It's got his name written all over it. Okay, so the casket sarcophagus thing fills up completely with sand, and then they open the casket up.
And with a really great, and by great I mean terrible CGI
Not very good at all.
effect.
CGI.
The sand breaks away as like a solid almost.
Yes.
And inside it is Swan.
And he's floating, and he says, "You're standing on the threshold of a miracle," or something.
Oh my
He's
God,
like,
I love it. That's like one of my favorite lines.
You're
and it's
standing on the threshold of a miracle.
And it's so odd, the voiceover. It sounds kind of detached or something. Like it's very weird.
It's really strange.
Yeah.
He's so excited though for everybody to be there and to see him perform this new magical act, this new illusion. And it is him on a rotating table that he is anchored down to, all of his limbs and his
he
neck.
sent out a lot of special invites. Dorothea doesn't come to all these things. She don't have time for it. She's out buying really crazy 90s outfits.
So she's not seen this yet at all.
She hasn't seen it either.
She's like, oh, what? Like,
I've been busy shopping for nylon hats.
I couldn't be bothered to be interested in your actual illusions.
Remember, I don't love you.
I don't love you at all. Scott Bakula, can I give you a handy dandy in this theater? Like, okay, gosh, just side note about that. Like, a handy dandy in this theater. Yeah, so let's talk about what the contraption is, so we can give them an idea.
He's on this rotating platform, kind of like, imagine a big lazy Susan.
Yes.
And he is sprawled out on it. His hands are tied down.
He looks like the Vitruvian Man, you know? Like...
Yes, the famous Michelangelo.
But, and then on top, up in the rafters, we
swords.
see these swords that are dangling
above him.
And we cut to Scott Bakula, or Perry D'Amour, and he's having an image pop into his head of Quaid at that theater, at the fortune teller, and him flipping over the card on the fortune teller's table, and it being this man that was stabbed with all the swords, and we're like, oh no, it's like about to happen.
Shit's about to be real.
Shit's about to go down.
Foreshadowing.
So the table starts rotating, and the swords start dropping one at a time.
And at first you think the illusion's working. He has a little key, and he's getting the little spring open will let his arms free.
Yeah, he gets one arm free
and his neck
free, and then
he doesn't get free.
From bad to worse.
Yeah, it goes from good to oh shit.
And there's so much blood that is coming out of him. Mm-hmm. There is swords that are like just like falling right down into his stomach, impaling him in his legs, impaling him in his crotch.
Oh my gosh.
It's like, and the whole time
he gets a sword to the dick, guys.
The audience is like, they're going from like different levels of shock to like.
There's a trick behind this,
yeah,
right?
like, at first, when the first one falls, you're like, what? Like, is this supposed to happen?
At first, when the first one falls.
When the first sword falls, and gets him right in the dick. No, I don't think it is the dick that he gets at first time, but there's one of them where there's like, it's dick.
You're like, oh, I think it got it. If it didn't get his dick, it grazed it.
It definitely got Swan's dick. Swan, yo dick. Sorry about your dick, dude.
Sorry about your dick, dude.
Oh, man. Yeah,
dude.
But, you know, also just seeing Kevin J. O'Connor, like, float and everything was hilarious. Because he has this receding hairline, and the haircut that they gave, or the style they gave him, because he has, like, this lengthy, curly, like, it's bad. It's a really bad hair job that they gave him. And he just needs a fashion person to come into his life.
He needs a fashion person.
Does Famke need to pay a little bit more attention to his wardrobe than her own?
I think they both need to pay attention to their wardrobe.
Like, they're making a lot of bad choices.
Justine, they're making bold choices, okay? They're not bad, they're bold.
They're not bad. They are bold. You're right, Josh. These are one-of-a-kind, unique pieces that they are showing to us.
You're right.
Through the whole movie.
I've had a change of heart.
Yeah. Because in Famke, she didn't just have one outfit that we're going to talk about, guys. There's going to be another one. We got to talk about that one, too.
Yeah, there's a lot of buttons coming
her way.
All right,
so Swan is dead. He is impaled. And everybody in the theater is either heading for the exit or heading to the stage.
But
it depends
not Harry. He's like, I'm going to go under.
Yeah.
I'm going to see what's going on down there.
I'm going to go down there and see what's up.
I'm going to see what's going on.
You see what's up.
There's Butterfield and Shark Boy.
Yep. And
he
they
gets
have
attacked
been
again.
waiting for him.
But Harry gets the last laugh. He uses, remember we talked about the sharp.
Mm-hmm. Remember when we talked about that sharp tube with the sand that's coming out, that red sand?
Mm-hmm. Well, that impales him. Someone gets impaled.
Shark Boy gets impaled.
Goes completely through him, and then the sand's coming out.
Sand and blood. Nasty. It is good. That was good.
That's good shit.
That was good. I like that a lot. Drip. All the way down to the floor. Okay, but also, we get Butterfield, who loves to attack in a very sensual, sexual way. Yeah. He tries to, apprehend people with his, thighs.
He does. He gets, on his face, right? Almost, and,
balls
in his face.
Yeah, Valentin a little bit later, but, he is always rolling around on the ground, tussling himself, and also...
He's like, oh, I fell on you. Oh, you fell on me.
Harry D'Amour is gun happy.
he doesn't usually aim correctly.
At all.
He just points and just starts
shooting.
And you know what? Even if it's something simple, no, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah,
when he's shooting out
but in this scene alone, down in where the contraption room is, Harry D'Amour just is shooting at whatever the fuck he feels like. He doesn't look at all. There could be a small child in a corner.
He does not worry about precision.
Or if there are other people in the room. Like, he's not concerned.
He's like, I'm just going to shoot until I get you.
Okay, but, you know, we know more than Harry knows. As the, audience, we have seen so much more of the story. So he's got a lot of questions for Dorothea.
He needs to catch up.
Yeah, and Dorothea tells D'Amour, don't ask me, go to Magic Castle.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, okay.
What is Magic Castle? Well, we're going to find out what Magic Castle is.
And it's a real place in L.A., too, where, like, magicians congregate. Like, famous magicians are, like, in a club. And so, they get to go to the Magic Castle, and we don't, okay?
I want to go, though.
Well,
so one day we're going to go. Instead of, like, to some illusion in Springer, Oklahoma, we're going to go to Magic Castle when we can make it. But, okay, so we get to Magic Castle, and so Harry's got a lot of questions for magicians. He wants to find out what's really up with Swan. Why does everybody really love him? Like, there's more to it than just magic illusions. Like, was he actually magical?
Mm-hmm.
And
he got the real. Is he the real deal?
Are these other magical people that he's seeing? Who's the Quaid guy? And the magicians at the Magic Castle, they take him to a dinner, and there's another character named, like, Lee, who explains a little bit about, like, the magical history behind Swan.
And he points to a room at one point. He says, this room has all the secrets of magic are hidden in this room.
All of them.
So
and we're going to come back later.
That's going to pique Harry's interest.
Yeah. He's like, I'm going to have to get in there one way or another. And so he goes there and he learns a little bit about who a character named Nyx is, because he doesn't know who that is yet.
We saw him at the beginning.
So now Harry has heard the name Nyx, and so he's heard the name Nyx, he's heard the name Jennifer, he's heard Swan, and he knows who Quaid is. So he knows that these people were a part of, like, a cult, but he doesn't really know yet what that all was, and he has no idea that Dorothea knew anything about it. But
at this point, we don't really even know who Dorothea is as the audience.
Yeah. We don't know who Dorothea is at all.
We're going to learn soon, guys. Stay with us.
Stay with us.
Buckle up.
Here we go. We find Scott Bakula laying in bed. He's got his underwear on. I just wanted you guys to know that. And he calls Dorothea, and he's like, hey, you want to know all the things that I found out? I found out about this guy named Nyx. Do you know anything about Nyx? And she's like, no. And later that night, and also she's just kind of like, no, and like, okay, even though I'm in, like, this negligee and I called you, like, I don't really want to talk to you, okay, so, like, bye.
See you later.
And her assistant, we see, is creepily, like, on the line as well.
He's
listening in. Every time, like, she's on the phone, we find out that he's in another room listening in. Remember when you could do that, guys? Remember when you only had phones in rooms?
You
didn't
listen
take
to your
them?
brother, sister, like, talk.
Oh my gosh. So that's what we're talking about.
Baby, get off the phone, Josh!
Get off the phone! So Valentin knows also that Scott Bakula knows about Nyx. And so Scott Bakula's not getting any information
from Dorothea. So
he's like,
I'm going to the house. I'm
going to go back to that apartment where the Quaid guy was, where the fortune teller was. And I'm going to see if that fortune teller has any information.
And guess who shows up there?
While he's there? Valentin. And he tries to pay him off and say, like, you know what? We don't need your help, actually. Here's a whole bunch of money because we thought we needed you, but no, Swan's dead, so we don't need you. I mean, if I was a private investigator, I would be like, okay, they're hiding something.
Yeah.
Now I'm in it to win it. I don't even care who hired me. Now it's just like, it's a mystery. I want to know what's up. And so I'm just saying that, guys, because it's about to be like boom, 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 boom. A lot of plot is about to come.
Coming at you. We'll keep
so he is. We'll keep it creep.
We'll keep it brief.
Okay. So he's in the apartment and he finds an address book before Valentin shows up. So he takes this address book and he finds the Jennifer girl that got referenced to at the Magic Castle.
And he's like, oh, she's in a crazy home.
She's in a crazy home.
Let's go visit that crazy home.
Like, I don't know her.
Don't let me just talk to her.
She don't know me.
I'm a handsome private investigator.
I'm just got Bacula, so I can talk to any old person.
So cut to him talking to Jennifer.
So he is. He finds his way there. He finds his way to Jennifer.
And she's like, do I know you?
And
he's like, no, ma'am, you don't know me. And she's like, well, let me tell you my story anyways.
And you can tell that she's obviously like damaged from all that shit. Like she doesn't look healthy. Looks like maybe she's got some ghosts from that past.
And you don't get too much info out of her, really. You just see her freak out once he starts mentioning Nix.
It like unsettles her.
Sets her off. She runs, throws herself in front of a car.
Yeah, because I mean, you know, that's what they let you do with mental patients.
Security is pretty lax in mental facilities, especially ones run by nuns.
Nuns, yeah, because they're definitely going to be able to hold you down. And
it's kind of this nun's fault. Harry is talking kind of calmly to her.
Yeah.
And this nun comes up and like, I don't know what her deal was, but it's like,
is she bothering you?
Yeah, and like, then she flees and runs around the car, and you're like, okay, sister.
Yeah. The only thing that Jennifer does mention to Harry that he doesn't already know is that Nix refers to himself as the Puritan. And that's all.
Yeah.
And we haven't even heard that word brought up since the very beginning of the movie when Nix himself called himself, I am the Puritan.
So is he like a pilgrim?
Yeah, so we're either thinking he's going to celebrate Thanksgiving or he's going to bring on the end of the world.
Who's making the turkey? Do I have to make the turkey? Because I need the fire.
Sorry, guys. I make cheesy grits. Just want you to know because I'm from Oklahoma, so I make cheesy grits for every Thanksgiving.
Oh, guess I'll make the fucking cranberry sauce next.
Thanks. We can't wait to come to Cult Thanksgiving. So, yeah, she gets hit by a car, and Harry is, like, a little unsettled himself. He has really now more questions than answers. Like, okay, this Jennifer girl has just killed herself because of this Nix guy who thinks he's a Puritan, and Swan studied under him. Dorothea, she's got to have more answers, but she won't talk to me. And Famke just needs to put on, another outfit for me to fall in love with. So what am I going to do? I'm going to go back to that magic castle, and I'm going to break in with my new friend that I found.
He made a new little friend. They break in together. There's some booby traps that almost get them, but they get the info they need, and they get some weird photos, artwork that Nix had drawn. He's like, I don't know any of this magic.
I love how in this magic castle, that's where you can find all the books about magic.
Yeah.
Like, they have just this, like, little library inside of there, and there's all the tricks of the trade.
Mm-hmm. They keep everything they find in there. They even have all Nix's info in there. So he learns about Nix through the Magic Castle.
Yeah, it's amazing how just, like, convenient everything was for him.
I mean, this movie is very noir. It's very Raymond Chandler meets Clive Barker. It's like, oh, Philip Marlowe or Harry D'Amour. I don't know who's who.
I kind of do, because I know who the fuck Scott Bakula is.
Justine's been dreaming of Scott Bakula for the last few weeks.
Guys, because in preparation, Preparation H, I had to watch it.
She had to use a lot of Preparation H for the hemorrhoids on her ass after all the rubbing it.
Oh my gosh, we're just going there, aren't we? I did ass rubbing. Oh my gosh, we're crazy. Oh my god!
Get yourself that Scott Bakula ass rub. Be careful, you don't want to end up with hemorrhoids.
Scott or Harry, who I interchangeably have been using them this whole time, he decides, you know what, I'm going to Dorothea's house. So he goes to Dorothea's house, and I guess that's when they've decided to have their viewings. There's all of a sudden, like, a casket in, like, the living room.
Yeah, and at first, the guy, why do I always forget Valentin does not want to let him in. He's like, oh, I'm coming in anyways. But
it's the easiest push ever.
Yeah,
he's like, you're going to let me in, and then he just barely, like, nudges the door, and then Valentin
He's like, I'm going to get in with my charm, okay?
Yeah. He runs in, he's demanding answers. He wants to know what the fuck is up! How do you know all of these people?
Well,
you must know them!
Before they find out any more information, a little fire snake chases Harry.
Not yet, because they're going to have sex.
They go up and bang, but first, before they bang, Harry has to undo all these buttons on his button dress.
Yeah.
Her sleeve is covered in buttons, and in order to take the dress off, he has to undo all of these fucking buttons.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, Harry.
Yeah, he's like...
You're a patient man.
It is hilarious. Her outfit is this, like, very drapey pink over the breasts. You know, you can see Famke's breasts.
You can totally see nip.
Her, yeah. And she's weeping over her husband's casket, and he comes in demanding all these...
Her tears are wetting her nips.
Answers. He's like, I want to know what you know about everybody. You're lying to me. And she's like, I'm just so horny. And so then they go upstairs and decide to have sex, and it's sensuous. He's kissing her, and she's telling him little secrets along the way, leaving like a little breadcrumb
trail. This is when she tells, like, that she is the little girl that shot.
Yeah.
Nick.
She's like, just kind of like dropping little
hints. She's like, that's why I'm fucking you now, but that's why I married the Swan, because he saved my life.
I say, I'm the Dorothea.
She's
I'm
like,
the little
you
girl.
See, once upon a time there was a baboon, and
and that baboon had a bigger baboon named Nix, who tried to get us, and we were a part of a cult, and they're all crazy, like psychopaths that follow him, and they were going to sacrifice me, but I was saved by Swan, and 13 years later, now we're trying to hide from him again. And Demore's like, damn, girl, you just dropped so much, you just spilled all the tea.
Let me undo these buttons.
Let me undo the buttons on your dress, girl. And so then they're laying there, and they've just both came, and Valentin gets this, like, well, he can hear what's going on, going on upstairs, and he calls on the phone someone. We don't know who he calls, and then it all seems quiet in the house, and then there's a ruckus, and there's this origami man that shows up.
Yeah, then he turns into a fire snakes, and it chases him into where the casket was held.
Yeah, and Moore is just shooting up the house again.
This is another one of his just lazy aiming.
He is just running away from this, like, fire snake that's chasing after him.
It's a case of maybe he really does need some training before he uses that.
Yeah, maybe he did. Yeah, he's going to need to go through at least 100 hours of gun safety training.
He's a little lax and loose with that
gun. That he's not keeping, like, that safety on. Like, he's just, like, he's not even pointing and aiming. He is really, his hand's just flipping around and he's just shooting.
That is fun.
And, like, when they were at the Magic Castle and they were trying to find, like, the books with all the secrets in them, they had that scary projector guy that showed up.
This is the funniest one to me. There's a projector that scares them into thinking there's a real monster. And
when they're at the Magic Castle.
Then they figure, oh, it's a hologram. It's a projection. So Harry sees where the projection's coming from, and he shoots it. But does he get it the first time? No. Does he get it the second time? No. It takes him 3 shots to get it. So he's just wildly aiming at a projector that's standing still, and he can't even get it.
And he could have just said it's a projector. Like, he didn't have to shoot it. I mean, he's standing on top of the vision that's being projected. So all he had to say was like, hey, it's okay, dude. It's not an actual monster. It's just a projection. There it is. It's right up there.
I have never read any of the Harry D'Amour stories, but I wonder if his character is a bad shot in the movie.
Maybe he's just a little gun happy. But yeah, sorry, we had to digress because, like, we hadn't brought that up, and it's just more gun happiness that goes on with Harry.
This is the scene where we find out, dun dun dun, they open the casket.
Yes, yeah, so the fire snake thing leaves the origami man.
It almost, like, leads him to it.
Yeah.
Leads him to the casket.
And I do like the origami man, and after finding out that this origami man is an origami man, it made more sense. At first, the CGI was, like, pretty... just early, weird. And I wondered, like, what is this character supposed to be that's, like, floating and kind of taking Harry to the casket, but I like it. So Harry's, like, opening the casket and ripping off the jaw of Swan, who's in there. And you're like,
oh no, he's desecrating a body.
Yeah,
but no, he's not, because it's made out of, like, stuffing and...
Yeah, he's like, he's not really dead. And Dorothea's like, okay, shit. What the hell's going on?
What's going on,
Valentin knows what's up. And he's like, yeah, it really was just like a ruse.
They decide, well, let's go ahead and go along with the funeral. There's
Yeah.
obviously, that's what he wants. He feels like his life's in danger. Let's
go
faked
ahead
his
and
death.
act like, let's bury him.
He did the ultimate illusion, made people think he died.
Yeah. And so Harry is doing some private investigating around the funeral. The funeral's happening, and he's just standing outside the church or the funeral home, and he sees what seems to be a pretty badly disguised swan watching his own funeral.
So he
How
follows
narcissistic of him
Yeah.
to do.
And when he finds him, he says, "Oh, did you come to see who was crying over you?"
Yeah, and Swan greets him with a floating car above his head.
Yes, he's like, "Oh, well, I'm gonna fuck you up, Harry."
Yeah, and nearly drops it on Harry, and
But
you
Harry
can
does
tell,
a really spectacular, action movie hero dive to
Yes.
get away from the car.
Yeah, because the car also kind of catches on fire, blows up. There's flames and stuff that happen, and Harry, you're just like, Harry, you almost died, and then Swan, you're ugly. But yeah, so we see that Swan's a little jealous because Harry's fucking his
He's like,
wife.
he even says that, "Oh, you've been screwing my wife."
Yeah, you came here to keep me safe. You couldn't even do that. Now you're screwing my wife. But the story has to come to
A conclusion.
yes. So we've
Fruition,
got to
yeah.
get to the end, which is Swan telling Harry the rest of it.
Yeah, they tell him hey, he's gonna probably be resurrected soon. That's why
Yeah.
I've been scared. They've been going after everybody. They've been going after the rescuers.
Yes, and everybody has died. The Jessica girl died. The Quaid guy died, and now there's Swan, and he wants to stay safe, but he knows they're going to go after Dorothea, and that happens at the same time. So while he's talking to Harry, Dorothea and Valentin get taken by Butterfield, and he wants to find out where Nyx has been buried, and Valentin knows that.
Yeah, and he ends up taking them out to the spot. Valentin gives in, and
Yeah.
shows him where the spot is. Because at first he's like, "No, I'm not going to." And he's like, "Oh, okay."
He doesn't give up easy, though.
No, I was about to say he does get kind of the shit kicked out.
He gets cut up with the
Uh-huh.
scalpel.
And this is when he's straddling his face and almost scoops his eye out with the scalpel.
It's gnarly. That is gnarly.
So
too.
Valentin's like, "Okay, I'll tell you. I would do the same too. If
Yeah,
someone was
I don't
about
want to
to
lose my eyesight.
cut my eyes out,
Yeah.
I would probably squeal. Sorry,
So,
guys. Don't tell me your darkest secrets."
So we see Butterfield take them out there to the Mojave Desert. They get Nyx. He gets resurrected. They
They
him.
get that thing off his face, and
back
it's
to-
disgusting.
Yeah, they take him back to that chicken house, and when they get there, all the cult members have been called back as well. So they're there.
Do you guys know that look when you've had a Band-Aid on for too long and you take it off and your finger is all shriveled up
And kind
and
of
moist and it stinks, and that's what Nyx looks like now. His
and
face.
it leaves an imprint. You have a Band-Aid imprint.
Yeah, his face
That's
is
what
all
his face
white
looks
and
like.
shriveled up and moist and nasty. It looks like a dirty Band-Aid. Like he's had a Band-Aid too long on his face.
It's-
So he stinks.
And he is pissed.
His body too almost looks completely almost like a frostbite look, completely blackened.
Yeah.
And
That is a really cool rejuvenation scene that happens.
Yeah, that is a moment-
regenerating. When Butterfield is bringing him back to life and
Yeah.
taking all the headgear off, and his skin does start to starts to kind of lighten up.
And
But-
that's a moment of really good special effects in this movie. There are some really good special effects, and then there's a few that don't work. But
Yeah,
that's kind
yeah.
of the time.
Yeah, it's a mixed bag
Yeah.
when it comes to the special effects. Okay, so
Oh, but I do want to say, when he is getting resurrected, we literally go inside his body. The
Yes.
camera goes in through this bullet hole, and we're seeing his vital organs coming back to life, going from black to still black, but they're
Yeah.
bubbling and
I mean,
getting
other than
bigger.
looking really decomposed, he looks like 100%.
Yeah. Other than looking like he's had a nasty Band-Aid on his face for a few years.
And we've got Demore and Swan, and they're headed to the chicken farm as well, because they're kind of following the breadcrumbs that have been left behind. There's a dead maid along the way, so they know that they've gotten to the mansion. Butterfield and the people have gotten to the mansion and taken Valentin and Dorothea, so they know where to go. Swan's going to take them there, and Nyx is getting resurrected, and again he's getting his cult members to come in, and he is like, so
the cult members,
they're so happy.
Yeah, they like literally crawl on broken glass. That's their sacrifice. He says, crawl to me, or what he says?
Yeah, he like, will you come unto me like broken or something?
Yeah, come on your knees.
And so, he's very like, he likes to be a prophet. And so he makes it rain inside.
Oh, but how does he make it rain? We find out he's got a hidden anus on his forehead.
Yes.
And this little piece of like turtle poop keeps popping out and going back in. It really is the grossest thing in this movie.
He starts to use his magic powers to make these thunderclouds come in and to make it rain.
Out of his anus forehead.
Out of his anus! Forehead!
He has a puckering asshole on his forehead.
It is.
And it literally has like this little brown
it's like
little
a weird,
piece of poop
yes,
coming in and out.
It's like a little worm that's just poking in and out, in and out.
It's a fucking shit worm.
And so there's like tons of rain that's falling on the ground. The cult members have like cut their hair and shaved their scalps.
They're bleeding and they're dancing in this rain
like
and
trying to fornicate.
Electricity is like sparking everywhere. And first you think they're gonna get electrocuted.
Yeah, and there's sand that's in the water. It's starting to like become quicksandish, and they start getting sucked down
and
into it.
He's just laughing at them, saying, "You weren't worthy."
Yeah, like. That he had to, in order to come back from the grave, he had to give something to the grave, and so he gave them to the grave.
But my favorite part is when he does say, like, "You weren't worthy." And so one of the guys that's like halfway submerged in the mud goes, "Fuck you!"
Yeah, that's such a goodie. Fuck you!
Fuck you!
There's this big hole in the ground that opens up, and he floats above it with Dorothea. There's a lot of holes. But there's a big hole in the ground that opens up, and it seems to go straight down into hell.
It's a pit of hell. And they're floating above, and he has Dorothea. And he had recently grabbed her a few minutes ago. And this is another nasty part of the movie, because he says to her, like, "Oh, you don't have a gun now, huh?" And then he, like, shushes her, puts his nasty ass finger on her lips.
Oh, it is
And that
gross.
makes me want to fucking barf. I'm going to get your stank.
Nasty.
Pellet finger off my lips!
Nasty! You know what I love, though? During the scene where he's coming back to life, Famke is sitting over in a corner, and she's like shackled, but her hands are up to her eyes, and she's like peeking through them like a child. You know, like she is terrified at what is happening in front of her. But she's like 25 years old. But she like is like got her hands up to her face, and she's just peeking through her fingers at the grossness that's happening as Nyx is resurrecting back to life.
And he's nasty.
Terrific. It's terrible.
He stinks.
Well, Damore and Swan show up, and they have their own showdowns. Both of them do have their own showdowns with Butterfield and with Nyx. Swan they both each have some pretty cool battles.
Yeah, we get more of the finger head banging.
Finger banging.
We get more of
big
that.
holes. We get more big anus hole worm tongue turtle licking.
And he like
shit
looks
going on.
inside of Swan's brain, and you think he like makes his insides all like explode.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? And
he breaks his body up.
Yeah, and it's another instance where Clive Barker like goes inside the body. You see the brain kind of pop, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah, and Swan is being kind of like taken under by Nyx. He's kind of manipulating him into believing that, like, look, this Damore guy has Dorothea now, so why don't you just come with me?
Yeah.
Like you were supposed to all along and be my contemporary, or whatever.
Be my baby.
And since D got new D, you need to go with me.
Oh, D got new D, go with me.
And all your friends are dead. You just need to come with me. And so Swan's like, I guess, but not really. And Scott Bakula gets fingered too, and Dorothea.
There's a lot of like fingering in this movie. It's very suggestive.
Dorothea shoots Nyx again.
Yep, she's like,
in
history.
the anus hole.
She shoots the anus hole.
Yep.
And it...
Butterfield gets electrocuted.
Mm-hmm.
That's really awesome. And his face kind of like melts and lights on
up.
fire.
It almost looks like lava. You know
yeah.
how like the...
Yes.
You know what I
yes,
mean? How it's
totally
like kind of shining underneath, like
yeah.
the scarring. It's a really cool effect. It's
Nix's
good makeup.
butthole gets a bullet.
Like most Clive Barker movies, it has great makeup effects and great makeup.
Yes, it's wonderful. This crazy ending to this movie. It all comes to.
It's like just 20 minutes of like fighting and insanity and magic and things blowing up, people sinking and people getting cut up
and the depths of hell.
But I want to know, Justine. This is the big question of the movie. What the fuck happened to that baboon?
Exactly, I have it written down over here.
I really hope it was rescued and taken to some wildlife refuge where they rehabilitated it and it's not gonna hurt children anymore.
Exactly, because like for 13 years, I was hoping someone was wondering, like, where did that baboon go?
Hey,
we hadn't
where's
seen
that
him
baboon?
since like the first 5 minutes of the fucking movie.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, we're at the end of the movie. Nix is finally gone. He's gone and buried. The hole in the ground is covered up. Swan is dead, but he helps save the day. And Dorothea and Damore are going to get their double D's on.
Their double D's?
They run out of the building and they run into each other's lives. Just like a good ending to a good movie should be.
Yes, they walk off to the sunset.
Yes.
Well, guys, we're getting really close to magnetic.
Yeah, we're really close. I'd say we're like 10 minutes away. So
we're gonna go do a little experiment. We're gonna see if we get pulled up.
Experimentation.
We're gonna see if the ghosts want to pull us up.
Want to give us a Lord of Illusion.
Or if we drove an hour just to sit there in the car for nothing. Okay?
We're gonna make some video too, so we'll probably be posting it on Instagram.
Yeah, so you can go back and find it on our Instagram. Yeah.
All right, guys, we love you. We'll be back in just 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. Peace be with.
We're coming right back.
Bye. Back.
Oh, hey! I was just cruising, minding my own business. I'm like, oh, we're doing a podcast?
I know. I'm like, I don't know how many times I can point at you.
Hey.
Here we are. We're back. We did it, guys. We were successful at Magnetic Hill. It was actually kind of cool.
It was quite interesting.
Oh, it was interesting, you say?
Because you just get off the highway and if you're interested in going, don't drive for miles around to see this phenomenon.
No. Go,
maybe if you're cruising down I-35 and you happen to be in Oklahoma, exit 42, you go west about 1.5 miles. And then, do you remember the name of the road?
It was called Pioneer Road.
Pioneer Road. You take a right and you go down. There's actually a marking. It's a blue line, almost with like a little blue happy face that someone put, where you drive to, and that's where you stop and you do the experiment.
Yes, you do your experimentation on their road.
You let the ghosts come and push you up the hill.
It does. It feels like, at first it feels like they are dragging, and then you kind of pick up speed, and then you're just like, woo!
Yeah, we got up to about 15 miles per hour before I put the brake on. It might have even gotten faster, but,
really neat.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
It looks, you see, like, it is an optical illusion when you're driving up. You see, like, that there's a dip in the road, but then if you look the opposite direction, it looks like it's flat, so.
Yeah, it's really neat. It sure does trick you. It's a Lord of Illusions.
It's a Lord of Illusion. And we both drove. Like, I got in the driver's seat. We took little videos because we're so damn cute.
So if you want to see us being cute,
took pictures.
Go to our Instagram.
We even took our Ouija board in case that we felt any spirits.
Yeah, we decided not to. We were like, it's a public road.
Anywhere to park.
There's nowhere to really do it.
And honestly, guys, I didn't feel any spirits. It felt like straight up just...
I felt like you were going down a hill, but going up a hill.
Yeah.
It was kind of weird. It was neat.
It's like, I didn't know what the hell was going on, but but I thought it must be science, It must not be a plane that crashed right here.
Yeah, the ghost.
Yeah, that's a funny little story.
But I don't know which is more
lore.
logical, really.
Yeah, I mean, they're easily both believable.
Believe what you want.
Hold on, though, because I do want to do some housekeeping from our last episode, Dracula episode.
Just to clarify.
Just to clarify, because it does maybe sound like I don't give a knife rating. I'm just in agreement with Josh that it's 5 knives.
So in case you're wondering, we both gave it 5 knives.
We both gave it 5 knives or 10 stabs. So however you want to look at it. So let's go ahead and get back to Lord of Illusions.
Lord of Illusions.
I have a question for you, Josh. So
oh my gosh,
it's actually a two-parter.
What?
Two-parter question. Okay.
What?
So I'm going to ask you your favorite scene, but I'm also going to ask you your favorite Scott Bakula scene. And so I just want to make sure that you give me.
Well, my favorite scene. Oh my golly. There's quite a few scenes I really like in this movie, but I'm going to have to go with the opening.
Okay.
There's something about that opening sequence with the baboon and just it's just nutty and weird.
It's unsettling.
And
you're in for a wild ride.
There's something just
it's mystical,
really ominous and scary about that scene.
You know that next guy is a bad guy.
He is a loose cannon.
And he wants to just bring about the end of the world. And you're like, I don't know if I'm game or down for that.
I'm not ready for that right now, Nick.
Well, then I'm definitely going to need to know your favorite Scott Bakula scene, because you're telling me that your favorite scene does not include Scott Bakula.
Well, my favorite Scott Bakula scene would be when he's laying on the bed dreaming.
That's right, sister friend child. Yes.
He's all hairy and wonderful.
Let me tell you, it's a trick question. Every scene with Scott Bakula is my favorite Scott Bakula scene.
You're in love, Justine.
Gonna get married, even though he's 65 or something, and not that age is anything.
Are you an ageist?
Not an ageist, but I'd like to spend some time with him for a while. That for sure.
True.
Okay, I'm gonna go with another little fave scene that it's all about Scott Bakula, and it starts with his private investigation in LA with the titties and ass scene, with the dancers in the hotel.
Yes.
And then him following him to that first kind of very just scary scene with Butterfield and the knives and Quaid, and he's getting stabbed everywhere, and Scott Bakula just kind of being immersed into this world that will be Lord of Illusions.
Oh,
Lord of Illusions.
But if I had to pick another scene, it would be the performance when the big swords keep impaling him.
Yeah, that's
when
a good
he gets
one.
it in the dick.
There's a lot of really good ones, but there's almost an
really great
eroticism to almost all of it. The whole movie is kind of titillating.
I feel like Clive Barker his movies are always very erotic.
Yeah, he's half hard.
Just half hard.
All the time. Okay.
What else?
Let's just go on with some favorite scenes of ours, because I do love also that chase scene in the mansion of Dorothea's when the origami man shows up, and because that's really a good little chase sequence that we get in this movie.
And the music is great too. I had heard it was originally the composer of Hellraiser, but he had to drop out due to scheduling
so they got
conflict.
New people, new magic.
And of course, I knew his name earlier, but as I'm driving, I can't remember his name. But the score, I do like the score as it is now.
The score, the four score. 7 years ago.
No, we're not talking we.
Josh,
we are talking music.
Liked the making of
Lord of Illusions.
Lord of Illusions.
And another thing I really like too is that the two different versions add. You can watch one if you want more of just the horror. Watch the theatrical cut. If you like the film noir aspect of the story, watch the director's cut, because there's definitely more talking. There's more kind of mystery in that sense of the dialogue and the who's who and all the little red herrings and things.
Simon Boswell is the composer of the music for Lord of Illusions, and I think you like him because he also did The Crying Game.
The Crying Game. I love that movie.
Yep, that's a good, like, 92 IRA movie.
Yeah.
Okay,
IRA, crazy secret at the end. Yeah.
Also, I do love the end of the movie where everything just comes to completion.
You like the anus forehead.
We love the anus forehead. I mean, tell me who doesn't love butthole forehead.
A puckered anal forehead.
Yeah, and Nick's. I mean, there's a lot of good CGI, early CGI moments in here. A lot of good special effects that have nothing to do with CGI. They're just practical. And, I just want to say, if we're talking about who's a Lord of Illusion, Clive Barker is a Lord of Illusion.
Yes, it's too bad. Like, a lot of his films were compromised. Maybe not Hellraiser. I haven't heard any of, like, behind-the-scenes stuff, but, like, Nightbreed, Lord of Illusions, got just, like, fucked with by producers and
Taken
studio
away.
heads. And
Things that he didn't want or it was more things that he wanted in his movies.
It's
that
like, I almost
got
just
taken
wonder,
out and
the director's cut, if more people had seen that,
if it would have
been appreciated more.
Yeah, because it's definitely it's a good solid 90s
minutes.
horror movie.
Yeah.
And I love the cop drama aspect of it, like that it's not just a scary movie, it's also got another layer to it, that noir coming in. He's the hot cop with a damsel in distress.
And it's really like classic noir too, it's set in LA, you have the kind of disenfranchised gumshoe, private eye coming in. He's out of his element. There's the femme fatale.
Past.
Yeah, he has a
he's
past.
a sort of past. And
there's the femme fatale.
she's got more up her sleeve than she's willing to let you know. And
she's a little dangerous herself.
Oh, yes. Give me all of it. Give me Hollywood magic in my face. Give me Lord of Illusions. Can I ask you something a little dirty? How about your knife rating?
My knife rating?
Or do you want me to give my knife rating since you gave yours last time and we forgot to give mine? How about I give mine?
You better go first this time.
I'm definitely comfortable with that. I want to give this a 3.5 knives. Yeah. 3.5 knives.
3.5 knives.
Yeah, because, if we're talking, like, horror, no, it's not horror alone. There's way more to it. It could be scarier. Wish it got to be scarier. And there were definitely parts of it that got taken out that were the horrific parts.
Yeah, like
to it.
Like
even the cult
coming back together and slaughtering their families.
Because there's a whole scene that gets taken out of these cult members that are being called back, and they all butcher their families and the people that are in their lives. And they're all living kind of double lives because when you look at them, they look like very cookie cutter American people, but they all are corrupt and just really want to know the magic of the world and help bring about its undertaking.
But did they do that? No. It came to bite them in the ass.
We're not worthy.
They should have stayed with those nice families they made.
Those nice families that they butchered. I mean, it's really cool. Even in those deleted scenes, there's that butchering scene where you see her. There's a character that's like taking out her family, her kids.
Yeah.
So it's really horrific.
Dead kids.
Yeah. We love Scream Queens podcast. We love kid killing. That's for sure. Okay, Josh, how about your knives? You comfortable? You want to tell us your knives?
Well, since we're doing the theatrical, because I do like the director's cut better, I suppose. No, I did not suppose. I know it, damn it. I'll go... Oh, gosh. I want to go 3.5, but part of me wants to go 4 just because of the fucking baboon. But I think I'll join you and do 3.5.
It's very solid 3.5. I'm teetering on 4, but I felt comfortable giving a 3.5.
Like Scott Bakula and the baboon almost push it up to a 4, but not quite.
Yeah, Scott Bakula, you made it the 3.5 solid for sure. Mm-hmm. You brought it. That baboon was bringing it to 4.
we want more baboon.
Yeah, and I just needed more Scott. I needed more. I want more to the story. It's the same with how I feel about...
Did I say Bayo? I did say Bakula, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh my god.
I'm hoping you didn't say Bayo. Or I didn't catch it.
Cut my fucking tongue out if I said anything nice about
Scott
Bayo.
That I just want more to the story, just like I want with Nightbreed. You know? I want
that's
more.
what I mean. They fuck with his shit.
Yeah, he tells good stories. Yeah, they're not necessarily just your typical horror. You know, they don't follow the typical thread. They don't have the typical tropes, but Clive Barker's movies are something else. They bring something else to the horror genre that I really enjoy.
Yeah, they're usually very psychologically disturbing, and I think maybe that's why this one's not my favorite Clive Barker, because I don't feel like I get that full
and it's
Clive
not
Barker
as
experience.
it's not as taboo as it could be. I mean, we do have this like androgynous character, Butterfield. There is a little bit of the erotic, like BDSM with that shark character, teeth character who likes to take the shards of glass out of him.
Yes, and when they're just stabbing that guy, fill him up with knives. That imagery is very
torturous
intense,
and kind. You know, you're a little titillated by it. Tit.
I wish he was in better health now and was still making movies.
Yeah, unfortunately, it was sad when we saw him at Frightmare because
He couldn't speak much.
He had to sit the whole time,
he
and he had a room to himself. And
he had come out of a coma.
Yes,
like recently.
He had recently. Yeah,
So
we were probably, I think, lucky to have him there. That he felt healthy enough to even come to such a large event with so many people.
Pretty incredible.
How about we talk about our 35th episode? I can't even believe we're coming on 35.
We got a good one for you.
We have a really good one
for
you.
The last, 2-3 episodes have been Oklahoma-based. And we've had some fun adventures, and we think we've made some fun episodes. But guys, we are going balls to the wall for episode 35.
It is. We're so excited. It is a 23-hour road trip that we are about to embark on.
We're heading to the happiest place on earth, guys.
We're heading there again. We went there 2 years ago and covered Black Christmas. And now we're coming back. We're going to do something lighthearted and fun, kid-friendly movie. I'm not going to say our podcast is going to be kid-friendly, but
you're going to get your Scream Queen's take on the Haunted Mansion. You're going to get a filthy movie.
Mouth. Yeah. We're going to cover the Haunted Mansion, Eddie Murphy.
We're going to have some fun with a PG movie, guys.
Yeah, we're going to have a lot of fun.
We figured, hey, we're going to the Haunted Mansion. We're also making a stop in New Orleans, and there's kind of like that New Orleans bayou mood to the house and to the movie. So I think they are heading to New Orleans.
We're going to take a little video. Yes, they are headed to New Orleans, and we are going to make some videos when we're at Disney on the Haunted Mansion ride to post.
So we thought, let's go to Disney. Let's review.
Let's do Haunted Mansion. Let's do something fun. It's going to be funny. It'll be comedic. Eddie Murphy. We'll see.
Yeah.
We're going to get into it.
It's going to be fun. So, next episode 35, Disney World and the Haunted Mansion.
It's going to be epic.
I can't wait.
No holds bar. And, there might be a little Christmas surprise coming y'all's way, too.
Mm-hmm. Maybe a little bonus episode.
A little bonus episode during this 23-hour road trip we're going to go on.
So stay tuned.
23 hours. Gosh. We love you guys. Thanks for listening. Please follow us
Stay tuned. Yep.
Instagram. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter.
ScreamQueensPodcast.com.
We can't wait for the next episode. We hope you guys really enjoy
this. But most importantly, subscribe, rate, review us on whatever format
you are listening. I want to keep going on these road trips. Let's make it big.
Yeah, we need your help. Every time we get a review, it helps us. So go to your format that you love. If you're on iTunes, go to iTunes, leave us a nice review, and give us that 5-star rating.
Is there spooky shit we need to come and see in your part of the U.S. or part of the world? Let us know.
We're always open for suggestions.
Always game for some travel.
Yep. So, love you guys.
Peace be with you.